Now we are live. I think we are live now. Just waiting for YouTube to show up and see some people.
That's okay. We got you and me.
Yes, that's
We are
more than enough. Yeah,
we are people. It's a party.
yeah. It is. It is a party, and whenever you are there, there's always a party.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think we are live. I just want to make sure that they can hear us. Today, I'm using a different software to do the stream. Okay. Can you guys hear us? Okay, I see people joining. Looks like they can hear us. Assuming they can hear us. All right, all good. Looks good. Cool. Okay, I think we can get started. So the first thing I made a video yesterday on H4 EAD, which news came out like they withdrew. Is the Department of Homeland Security don't want to fight that case anymore? Is that what it is?
I do not know exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot going on. I'm keeping my eyes on all the moving targets. But I think the news that came out a few days ago, which is to me that's old news,
Yeah.
that the Biden administration, you see, what happened was,
Mm.
we discussed, Yudi, by the time we are done with this, you are going to be ready to take a job as a lawyer.
Yes. I want to. I want to.
Yeah. Oh, I
I can
personally
practice
would not
under
trade.
you. Yeah.
No, of course. This I would never try. I would not trade my job for anybody else's,
Yeah.
even though I like technology a lot. But if I had my way, I would have a job in biotechnology because my first degree is in biology
Yeah.
and in law. So I don't know how I would make both of them work. Oh, anyway, so let's go back to what I was discussing with you.
Mm.
See, governance in any country comes at several levels. At the highest level in a republic or in a democratic country is the constitution. Perhaps even higher than that are the international treaties.
Mm.
But let's say we begin with the constitution. That's the top boss. Below the constitution is the law, Immigration and Nationality Act, which is passed by Congress. So anything in the law that violates the constitution, the law loses.
Mm.
Below the law are the regulations. Anything in the regulations that's against the law or the constitution loses.
Mm.
So there is a systematic gradation. Below that are the court rulings, perhaps I would say not below, but perhaps equal dignity in some ways. And below that are the policy statements. So there are different levels of regulation. H4 was created by regulation. It was not created by law.
Mm.
So what Biden administration is doing is they want to promote it to be the law. Regulations can be challenged. Laws can be only challenged if they are unconstitutional. Right now, there was a challenge to H4EAD regulations, partly by saying that you are not authorized, USCIS is not authorized. The Obama administration should not have issued these regulations.
Yeah.
So what Biden is doing is he's taking it beyond the realm of controversy and putting it in the law itself.
Nice. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. We have a lot of people. Should we start Q&A, or do you want to discuss anything? Any new
Now, I
news?
just want to just quickly, just a few seconds, just to let people know that as we had anticipated, I was in touch with the Times of India yesterday. We talked a little bit about what I think is going to happen. I think what's going to happen is that this year's lottery should go with the old technology. We shouldn't have to do anything new. I hope so.
Yeah.
It's beginning to look like that because the Department of
When
Labor
when
has
when you
posted
say this year lottery, you talking about H1B?
H1B. There is no other lottery in our
I
life.
sorry, sir. I meant like you
It's not
meant.
the it's not the Powerball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, I think this is what it's looking like, and I hope that I'm right. It's gonna go through the old process. You're not gonna have the highest people getting the highest paid people getting the H1Bs. You're not gonna have a huge jump
Mm.
in the wages because all that was done without sufficient thought. And how they are going to do it is a whole big story. I'll tell you another day. It's not important for you guys. Or just remember the bottom line is I think we will go back. This year's lottery should be relatively uneventful. Let's start the question answers.
Got it. Okay. All right. So I'm going this lot already. So going to Fatma Khan is asking how long does it take from B2 to F1 is
Okay.
taking and how advisable it is.
It is not advisable at all. I'll tell you why. This has always been tricky. When you enter the United States on a B2 visa, you have 3 points of failure when you try to convert to F1. What are those 3 points of failure? Let's begin with the first one, the third one out, and I'll take you back in time. USCIS could take the position. They normally don't, but they could. That's your point of failure. They could say, you entered the United States saying you're coming for a short visit, and now you want to convert to a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year degree course. It looks like you were lying. Okay. So that's misrepresentation when you try to convert. There can be a misrepresentation at the airport. So for example, at the airport, you were asked, Fatima ji, why are you coming to US? And you say, I'm coming to see the Statue of Liberty. It's like, okay, then you are done 2 days, go back.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll do my master's degree. Okay, that doesn't jive.
Yeah.
Okay. And the third point of failure going back in time is when you got the visa. So when you went for the tourist visa and you told the consulate, I'm going to go see the Statue of Liberty, you lied at that time. So any three of these points, when you got the visa, when you used the visa, when you tried to convert, could be points of failure. So we hardly ever advise people. Now, the good news is that usually USCIS may not look into it too deeply. They might give you the change of status. That's another problem. I don't want to take too much time on this because it's a long discussion.
Yeah.
But what happens is USCIS might give it to you, but if you ever travel outside the USA, you aren't coming back.
But
The
what
consulate is
about
not going to give you it.
what about the case where they came as a tourist? So for example, my cousin or my brother came as a tourist, visited me, went back to India after maybe a year or so. They decided like, now I want to pursue education.
It's a very good case.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good case. Why? Because they have established their law-abiding nature by coming to the United States and leaving within the time permitted. That makes their stamping for an F1 visa a lot better chances than anybody who has not been to the United States before.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. Spouse, Khushbu Desai is asking, spouse of green card holder ban will remove on 29? Spouse
of green card holder. And are you talking about the green card visa stamping? I think that's what you're talking about. And I think it's March 31st, the Trump ban. I actually just posted an infographic on LinkedIn. Somebody was asking me, I'm going for visa stamping, am I exempt? Then 2 or 3 other people asked. I thought I had already posted it, but I guess we had just sent it to our clients. I posted an infographic for H1 people, not for green card people, but this ban is expiring on March 31st. Trump ban is expiring on March 31st.
I'm just going on LinkedIn right now on your...
So if you go to my activity, I just posted a link, but that's more for H1, H4 people.
Okay.
I think, again, Yudi, it's an awesome link, I think. I did a good job.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Next question is from Shubhash. Is asking, could you share some information on child age protection for getting an inherent green card?
Getting an inherent green card. I don't know what that means. But look, you're asking me about two different things. One is Child Status Protection Act, and the other one, there's no such thing as an inherent green card. There is a certain type of naturalization that you can inherit from your parents, etc. I don't remember all the details of that, but I do know Child Status Protection Act, which protects certain people who turn 21, but the law says that's okay, we can still give them a green card through their parents. That's Child Status Protection Act under certain circumstances.
Got it. Okay. Abhi is asking, hello Rajiv ji, in your article in Economic Times, you mentioned something that about new reform stops dependent of H-1B visa from aging out. Can you please explain more on that?
Yes, yes. So remember, we have not yet seen the text of the law. We have seen the reports and the recommendations from third parties. First of all, I'm a lawyer. Man is my natural enemy. I don't trust anyone. I have to see the law myself before I give my comments.
Yeah.
So, judging upon third party comments, what they're trying to do is look, it's a very, very unfair situation. And we had a meeting with Senator Mark Warner, who's a very powerful senator, very interesting man. He sold his tech company for gazillions of dollars when I think he was still in his late 30s.
Hmm.
So you and I are late now. So
We
we should
are.
be selling our tech company soon.
I need to build
And
one first.
he is one of the richest senators on the Hill and a very nice man. So we got together. I don't know him, but a bunch of local Indian organizations asked me to come and speak with Mark Warner to present their case. I was given about 6-7 minutes. So I do want to, I don't know how much time we should be spending chit chatting because it was an interesting situation.
Yeah.
I am not sure. I'll leave it to you. Just interrupt me if you feel.
Okay. Go for it. No, go for it.
But this situation was exactly what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That I had 3 kids there from the age of 9 or 10 to somebody who was much older, who were all going to lose their status in the United States when they turned 21 because you can't be on H4. Parents are on H1, H4. The kids are aged out. Where do they go? They have lived all their lives in this country. It's not a fair situation.
Oh, that
You
is
see?
interesting. So what visa they go on?
But that's the problem. And if they try to go on F1 visa, their parents have applied for a green card like 13 years ago. Government can say, "Oh, I'm not going to give you a student visa because you have a green card pending."
Mm.
So where do these kids go? That's called aging out.
Okay.
Okay. So anyhow, one of the questions Senator Warner asked me, he said, "What do you think is the problem with the H1Bs under the current administration?" And I said, I don't know how much time I have because I'll need about 3 hours to go over that. And he said, briefly in one sentence, I said, I can describe a symptom rather than the disease, Senator. The symptom is we actually had to upgrade our PDF software because our average response went from 30 pages to 3,000 pages to USCIS questioning. We actually had to upgrade our software because very few software can deal with 3,000 pages of PDF information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So there was a lot of problems, sluggishness, etc. So that should tell you. Now, the new law removes this problem of aging out, at least it's supposed to, by perhaps creating a device which extends your Child Status Protection Act to situations where kids never age out. They never have to worry about, oh, I'm turning 21. Instead of going and having a beer with your friends, you are worried, you are sitting at home, I don't know, whatever you do to release stress. It's not a good thing. It's bad for the parents. The parents are not happy. They're very concerned. So I
Right.
think that's a very good step forward. They are trying to ameliorate the problems created by the delays in green card. So that's what's going to happen. I hope that helps.
Got it. Okay. Okay. No, that was helpful for the
I
context
hope
part.
so. A lot of words. I hope there were enough information there.
Okay. Ananda Shyam is asking, March 1st, had to travel back as my green card process was not complete. Received 221G for stamping, asking for client letter, but my client is not providing client letter. What options do I have now?
A lot of prayer would be one of them, because the problem is the consulates are not going to give you a visa without whatever document they think is needed. So you may want to have your employer file for another H1B, a transfer to another end client. And don't get me started on 221Gs. I am in litigation with the US consulate, and I think they are full of it, and we'll be trying to fight. So 221Gs are nonsense. I'm waiting for my client to get back to me because we might escalate this into a much bigger fight. Yudi, think about it. This is their procedure. You go and apply for an H-1B visa. They'll tell you, leave your stuff with us. We'll get back to you. 6 months later, you call them. What happened to my case? Well, you're under 221G. They give you the 221G, and without you knowing it, they have sent your papers to the USCIS for revocation. So you're still stuck in India. You have no idea what's going on. And this whole procedure is so, in my view, illegal and unconstitutional and against the rules of natural justice. It should be changed. But that's what we are dealing with. So if you think that you can do anything better, I don't think you can. If you cannot provide the documentation, you can get your lawyers to write a letter, try to explain what the situation is, try to explain why you can't get the information. Because remember, in law, you can always provide secondary evidence if primary evidence is not available. Primary evidence is the client letter. If that's not available, maybe you have contracts, maybe you have work orders, job orders, you have something that shows what you do. So try to get some secondary evidence. Other than that, just fight for an H-1B transfer.
Okay, there we go. Okay, next question is, this person couldn't be there, but that person sent me a message to ask you, can my current employer, State Department of Water Resources, so that's their employer, can file for H-1B while I'm on this discretionary leave of absence, unpaid leave with them, but I'm employed with other private company meanwhile. Do you understand the question?
So this question is not clear. There are 2 or 3 components. First of all, can the state level government agencies apply for an H-1B? Sure, they do it all the time. We represent several of them. Can it be done if you're on unpaid leave of absence? I doubt it, because that's considered to be unauthorized stay in the United States. But I don't know what the exact circumstances are. Can you be employed with 2 employers at the same time on H-1B? The answer is yes, if you file a concurrent H-1.
Okay, nice. All right, Shoaib Khan is asking, green card holding Indian parents applying for 24-year-old son, green card timeline. I think
it's you have to look at the visa bulletin. Just go to whatever your favorite search engine is. I don't have Google stock. I don't want to say it. Go to Google. go to any search engine and type visa bulletin. You'll come to the visa bulletin. It describes on the very top, visa bulletin is the monthly publication from the State Department that tells you the availability of the visa numbers. It describes the various categories, F2B or whatever that category is. It'll tell you what the current waiting time is.
Okay. Next question is,
the law is green card holders can apply for single children. Now, their children can be any age as long as they are not married. So if they are divorced, widowed, or never married, only then they can apply.
Okay. But what if they are married? Like, they cannot apply, or they can apply, but it's longer?
That category is, you cannot apply.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Next question is from Aditya Narayan. My dad applied for U visa in March 2017 and current date is March 2016. Considering the U visa cap, I will turn 21 this June. Will I still be eligible for U dependent visa for my family immigration, or go with F1 visa for masters?
I do not know. I don't do U visas. My practice is limited to employment and business-based immigration primarily. If you have a question about any of the employment, investment, business-based visas, I am your person. I have never done a U visa in my life.
Okay, cool. All right. Next question is Pratap Kafle. My employer is a university. Filed my H-1B for the assistant professor rank on last week of December. Can I expect my H-1B to approved in 2 to 4 months? Are professor exempt from H-1B lottery process?
If you are an employee of a institution of higher learning, which you are, You are quota exempt. Yes, you are quota exempt, of course, no doubt about that. What I'm thinking is, why have they not filed premium processing? They should have filed premium processing. You get yourself approved very quickly. And by the way, Pratapji, you can offer to pay for the premium processing. It's
Yeah.
perfectly okay,
Yeah.
because normally you cannot pay for anything related to an H1. But the way I read the policy, if the premium processing is for the benefit of the employee, not for the benefit of the employer, it is okay for the employee to pay for premium processing.
Hmm. Okay. Great. All right. Next one is from Siddhi Shah asking, what about a husband and wife wants to apply for a green card? What is the fastest way to get? I heard if they invest in a government company, then it can be fast. I think they're
There
talking
is
about
no such there is no
EB5.
such rule.
No.
There is no such rule, and EB5 is not quick. I don't know who told you that, because EB5 has, they're trying to make it quick. I have to actually, I'm writing an article again for Economic Times on EB5, and I hope to get it done this weekend. Monday you will see it. I want to talk about the changes they want to propose in the EB5 process. One of the problems is it's taking so long. So you have to file two sets of forms. The first set of forms takes 2 years to adjudicate. What the heck? 19 months.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's after you spent so much money. That's nonsense. Okay. So EB5 process is by no means fast. It can be better than EB3 and EB2. The fastest category right now is EB1. And Siddhi, if you are from a business family and your husband or you work for your family business, there might be a possibility of an L1 EB1C, fastest way you can go. EB1s for international managers are wonderful.
Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. There are a lot of questions. Chirag Dave is asking, I have lost my job on STEM OPT and I'm facing financial crisis. Given the current pandemic scenario, is it possible to work on freelance while looking for another job to support myself?
You said he's on STEM, right? On STEM OPT
OPT.
extension. The problem with STEM OPT extension is somebody has to file your, what is that form? 981 or 983, whatever that form is. Somebody has to file it. You cannot freelance. You can freelance the first year of OPT. You can't freelance the second 2 years. You need a job. Now, the job can be up to can be 20 hours or more. So even if you can get a part-time job and with just level 1 pay because you're just out of school, you should be okay. But you cannot freelance on STEM OPT extensions.
Okay. Agastya Teja is asking, I'm currently on OPT and have a job offer. Is it possible to go to India? Currently on OPT and I have a job offer.
Well, absolutely. That's not my concern. My concern is there are two aspects to your travel. One is the COVID-19 situation. The other one is the visa situation. So I'm going to leave aside the COVID situation. Just to answer your immigration related question. If somebody has an OPT and they want to travel, just keep in mind that you are allowed only 90 days to travel, to be out of work. So don't go and be stuck there for 6 months. You would lose your status.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, as long as you have a job, so if you have a few pay stubs, you have a visa stamp already, and the employer gives you a letter that they have a job for you, you're okay to travel. People do it all the time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask something, but I forgot.
It's because of your advanced old age, you forget things.
Yes, it is true. The social media age. What are the chances of H-1B visa for electrical engineers from India? Hard one.
I don't do headhunting, so I don't know, but I'll tell you just from my personal experience. There is one area in which I see a lot of demand. They're mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, software engineer, mechatronics, all four in control systems. In control systems, huge demand. Because see, we are doing a lot of robotics now. Amazon doesn't want to do its own sorting. There are robots that go and do stuff. And what do you need? You need control systems. By the way, my first H1B ever done was for a satellite control systems engineer.
Oh, wow. That's
I learned so much about satellites and control systems in that one H1B.
you're such an interesting personality.
I am very interesting. No, just
I love it. All right. So Ravi Nita Dhariwal is asking, my husband is a green card holder. He has already filed for me 6 months back. What would be the normal timeline for under Biden's administration?
see, there's so many moving parts here. It's difficult to give you a good answer. I tell people there was the world before COVID-19 and there's the world after COVID-19. Unless they fine tune their procedures. Trump just left everything to Steve Miller and went golfing. So, and Steve Miller, being the jackass that he was, may he rest in peace, they just screwed up the whole system. Now we don't know what Biden administration is going to do, but I hope that this will get more and more streamlined. I can't give you an estimate because the moving targets are the following. First of all, how much time are they going to take to process your I-130? Once they process your I-130, when is your priority date current? If your priority date is current, when are they going to schedule you for interview? Depends upon which sub-office you are in. The times in LA may not be the same the time in Little Rock, Arkansas. You can actually look at your local processing times. If you just Google or whatever search engine you use, if you just say USCIS processing times, it brings you to a, I guess you can call it the graphical user interface to a database where you can click your choices, local sub-office, form I-485. It gives you an approximate idea. Don't depend upon it because I've seen some of the stupidest times. Like I looked at the time in Charlotte, North Carolina. The time was 9 to 39 months. I was like, that's like saying, we don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
9 to 39 months. What kind of an estimate is that?
Basically, yeah, they just want to be very diplomatic.
No.
Okay. Next question is Ashok Sharma is asking, please give me an update on EB5 visa. What is the waiting period for EB5 visa for an Indian citizen currently? Is there any chance of getting an amount of investment for EB5 visa to pre-Trump era?
I am reviewing the report on that. Congress has asked for a report on EB5. I think EB5s are expiring this June. So in order for them to be renewed, there might be some major changes. I do not know right now. If you ask me, read my comments in the Economic Times on Monday.
On Monday, okay.
Because I still have to put together my thoughts. I haven't put it all together yet.
Yep. All right. Sudhir is asking, I'm on a F1 visa and I lost my passport. Once I get my new passport, if I choose to go to India only after I get H1B, will I be inquired about my F1 visa, which will be in my missing passport? I think they get it stamped, right? If you get a new passport.
Wait. Let's backtrack this a little bit. First of all, losing a passport is not uncommon. Have you filed a police report?
So Sudhir, that's a question for you. Yeah.
Okay. And if you have not filed, file one. So at least you have something to show why you don't have the other passport. You should be fine. This happens all the time.
Everybody should get a lawyer like you. So calming.
I hope so. If can you imagine if you come to me, I'm more fragile than you are.
yeah, because it's nice. Okay. Sailesh is asking, if I travel to India now and work from home, how long can I work from India? My companies is okay with me working from India or from.
But Yudi, what status is he on? Is he on H1B?
I'm assuming that, yes.
Okay, if we can assume that you're on H1B, boy, you are in a good shape. You can work as long as you like from India.
And if he's not on H1B and if he's on OPT, then
he can still work as long as he wants from India.
Okay.
Because India is your mother country. Right. President Biden can't go to India and tell you how to do your job. He can only do that within USA. When you're in India,
but there's no such law that he needs to be in United States. I thought on wasn't there a thing in H1B that you have to be in the office, but obviously with the COVID everything changes, so never mind.
No, no. Even on H1B, you have the option to work in the United States, not the obligation. If you, those amongst you who are total nerds like I am, you can actually go and look at the regulation. So there is a regulation 214, 8 CFR 214. CFR means Code of Federal Regulations. You can again Google it. It's all online. 8 CFR 214. And I think it's 214.2. The visas are organized in the sections according to the section number. So if you are trying to look for B visa, it's under 214.2B. If you're looking for F visa, 214.2F. Go to 214.2H, and you can actually see that you are allowed, if you look at the regulations and you understand the regulations, you don't have to be in the US even for one day. In fact, any 12-month period in which you are in the United States for less than 6 months, you can recapture the whole year.
That is, but you still have to pay taxes.
No, that is tax law. Look, I almost failed my tax law exam. You don't want to ask me about taxes.
Okay.
My taxes is my CPA says sign here.
This is interesting. So if I get a job, I can go back to India. I'm on H1B. My H1B is approved. I can just work from India, living expenses all in India, working, getting Americans.
But listen, tell your wife not to throw something at me, but yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Next question is Saurav from Saurav Datta. Will it be easier for STEM students to stay in United States if Biden's new immigration bill gets passed?
Yeah. Dattaji, you are doing well under Biden plan. In fact, I think despite Republican opposition to everything that Democrats do, this one actually might make it. So yes, definitely. I think if the Biden plan passes, STEM students will do very well.
Great. There's a lot of questions. I'm trying to capture the questions, but there are a lot of them.
That's okay.
Is it safe? Okay, Lasya is asking. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Is it safe to apply for a job in the US? Will the employer sponsor me work visa? I'm applying from India. It's for the investment banking industry. Is it safe to apply for a job in US? Yes. Will the employer sponsor?
It's up to them.
Yeah.
It's up to them. And just on a separate note, if you are an investment banker, I want to be friends with you because you make lots of money and maybe you can buy me.
Me too. I'm also in the line.
Yeah, let's all be friends. Let's go over to Alicia's for drinks. Well, actually, I don't drink, but maybe coffee or something.
Yeah. All right. Shaurya Sheth is asking, can we execute our B idea into a startup on F1 visa or OPT during college, or only
Oh man, this is so weird. This whole law is so weird. Okay. So when you are on the first year of OPT, you can even work for yourself as long as you are working in your own area of expertise. You can work without getting money. You can work with money. You can at least 20 hours each week. You must work, right? Now, so you could capitalize on your idea in the first year, but the moment you hit the second and the third year, now you can't do it. Okay. So then by that time, unless you have formed a company, somebody can hire or fire you, and they hire you as an employee, you could be even a CEO as long as it's in your area of work. So you could do that. I had a situation many years ago where 3 students from 3 different universities had together come up with an idea. Microsoft bought it from them for $5 million. So they called me, they were very worried, 3 students. They said, what are we gonna do? I said, if I were you, I would not give a damn about immigration laws. I would take the money, go home. You know, in those days, millions were a lot of money. Nowadays, everybody has millions, so except me. So.
Except me too. I need million too.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Well, except a lot of people I know.
All right. Next question is from Kritiki Sahu. My fiance is in USA since 2014, but he was in India for 6 to 9 months due to some visa issues. We are
Okay.
planning to get married this year. Will I be eligible worker in US after marriage?
No, no, not unless he's on L1. Because if he's on L1, you qualify. L2 people are allowed to have employment authorizations. But if he's on H1B, unless he is advanced enough in the green card process, tell him to do that. Tell him to make it a condition of marriage. So before I say I do, I want to make sure you've applied for your I-140. Don't take
Yeah.
no for an answer, Kritika.
Yeah. All right. Sayab Qureshi is asking, I'm a student of MSc CS in UK and I want to enter myself in project. Okay, I'm going to skip this question. It's career related question, not an
Okay.
immigration.
Sorry, guys. Can't do anything. No career advice. I'm terrible at it.
uh, okay, so next question is from Prasad. Yudi, I'm a student with 15 years of education who wants to. Okay, now I think we are getting all
Career,
career.
that's your job, not
Yeah.
mine.
Okay, now we have a immigration question. Can a spouse on F2 visa work legally in USA in any way?
No. Next.
I'm on H1B visa and I have a job. Can I do freelancing?
No.
I'm on F1 visa. Can I do stock trading but in international market which is in India?
I've heard some of my colleagues say that if you are doing something that creates no wealth, creates no money in the United States, it should be okay. I doubt it. I would not want to bet upon it, but my own take on this is if you are doing something that a US worker could be doing, you may be breaking the law. Now, the question is, why would a US worker be doing day trading in an international market? I don't know. I can't answer that question with any degree of confidence. I can only give you my impression. And my impression is, don't, it's not worth it.
But you can like just buy the stocks and not do the
Yeah,
trading.
yeah.
Okay.
That is not a problem. If you're a passive investor, I wish that government would give us clearer guidelines on this, but that's the best I can do. Go with my instinct and my knowledge of overall area of this law. So I would say avoid any kind of active investments.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There was one more with your name on it. Okay. Sorry. Missed that one. Manveer Singh is asking, my uncle filed F4 visa for my mom in 2008. Since I'm dependent and age is 17, I get to go with her, but still no one knows when turn arrives. So if I apply for my F1 visa, will that create a problem?
No, 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 not at all. You can be in the United States when mom gets the visa. You can fly out to India and do it, or you can even apply for your 485 here in the United States. Normally, when you are waiting for a family-based visa that takes gazillion years, consulates may be sympathetic. In fact, my own nephew got his F1 visa while my cousin's case for green card through his brother was pending. So they were concerned about it. I had to talk with him. He goes to school in New York. I talked with him and I said, listen, dude, just be honest. Don't try to make up any facts. And he said, they just asked me once, oh, your father has a green card pending. I said, yes. They said, that's okay. They gave him the F1.
Nice. So just be confident.
Be honest and be confident. Because if you're honest, normally you are confident.
Right. That's not always true though. Some people can lie with confidence.
Yeah, I haven't met very many except in my own profession, but yeah.
Okay. Next one is from Abhigya Raval says, I lost my passport on F1 visa in US, but I'm graduating in May 2021. Will be applying for OPT. Will that be issued? Will that be a problem without a stamped passport?
Abhigya just make sure you make a police report because you have proof that you've lost the passport. I don't see it as a problem.
Okay. Anirudh is asking, 20 years back, me and my parents lived in the United States as a green card holder, but my dad surrendered it as I was moving to.
It's over. Can't do anything with that.
Okay. That was the question. You already knew the question.
Because I just answered that for a couple other people a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
That question comes up quite a lot.
Okay.
Dad was a
Uh,
schmuck. He gave up the green card. What do I do?
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You're stuck with.
I think there are a lot of people asking the same question on Rajiv ji. Do you think removal of per country cap on green card ever really happen? And the bill has already been introduced to Senate and House twice, yet nothing has ever happened.
Well, look, I'll tell you something. I don't even keep track of the bills. If you look at the history of Congress, average, there'll be 10, 20, 30, even 50 bills introduced every year. Some of them die by the wayside, taking their last breaths, gasping. Many of them make it part of the way through. Then you have different versions. House passed one version, Senate passed another version. This is the best time since 2013, like I've said many times before, that there's actually a real chance of an immigration reform. And
Nice.
there's a whole lot of politics going on
Yeah.
because what Biden has done is he's put his shoulder behind undocumented people. Okay. And he's not done a lot of shoulder behind the legal immigration. And what he's expecting is that the Republicans will trade that. They'll say, you do this for legal immigration for business because Republicans are pro business. So you do this and this and this, and we will agree to this and this and this. So I think they're creating a currency out of our lives. So congratulations. Welcome to America.
Okay. Next question is from Shailesh. I have an approved I-140. I changed 2 different companies after that. Do my new company need to file I-140 for my company to be applied for H-1B extension?
Assuming well, first of all, this question has 4 or 5 sub-questions. If you're asking only about H-1B extension, the law only requires that your I-140 was approved and stayed approved for 180 days. At least one of those 180 days fell on January 17th, 2017. Okay. So if your I-140 stayed approved for 180 days, and one of those days at least is on or past January 17th, 2017, your H-1 can be extended by any company without filing a new I-140. But if you want to get a green card, some company has to start your green card from scratch, perm and then I-140, and at that second I-140 stage, inherit the priority date of the old I-140.
Okay. Exciting M, that's the username, is asking, my F1 is expired for more than 1 year and currently on STEM. Would you recommend to go back to India and re-STEM, renew, or
No.
can I renew in Canada?
Just get an H1 first. Because F1s are always so dicey.
Yeah.
I know a student from Rajasthan who got stuck 4th year of PhD and they refused to give her a student visa. Hers had expired.
Wow.
She called me, said, can I go? I'm getting married. I said, don't get married. I think it's a singularly bad idea from many angles.
Yeah.
But if you are going to get married, at least finish your PhD or wait till you get your H1B. And, Rajasthani weddings are a big affair. There were 1,100 people invited, so she had to go. So when she went there, she got stuck and we tried everything that we could. We couldn't get her back. So we did get her back eventually on an H1, but and she finished her PhD. But what a pain. Why would they stop somebody in the 5th year of PhD? She's never broken any law in the 4th year of PhD. Never broken any law.
Yeah.
But that's how consulates are. You don't know.
Yeah. Pritesh Tiwari is asking, how hard is it for master's aerospace engineering students to get H-1B visa? What is the waiting period for? I don't know.
Aerospace engineers are the same as anybody else, as far as visa times, application, etc. are concerned. But I understand that getting jobs in the aerospace industry is difficult.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you look at what the airlines industry is doing. Not very well, right?
They can work for SpaceX with Elon Musk.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure what is that guy's name? The SpaceX guy? What is his name? I always forget his name.
Elon Musk.
Musk, yeah. So he says that he only asks one question in the interview. Tell me about a difficult problem that you have solved and how you solved it. So just make sure you know the answer to that question and apply.
I don't think he's gonna interview people, but I think
He might be the
also I
CEO.
think it is Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because yeah, I can never remember his name. I'm sure he doesn't remember mine. So we are equal.
Oh, you are awesome. Okay. Will PhDs get green card directly? No.
I hope so. But
Really?
under the old system, the 2013 law, they were supposed to. If you had a STEM degree from PhD STEM, you were great. If you had a non-STEM PhD from USA, you were still great. If you had a PhD from any other country, you were still doing well. So PhDs were strongly preferred in the immigration under the 2013 system. I hope to God the same system comes up, because if you've spent so much of your life worshipping the goddess Saraswati, you deserve some Lakshmi in your life.
Yeah. We'll take last couple question and then we'll end the session. Okay.
Sure.
Please share Rajiv sir's email ID. It's help@immigration.com.
Oh, Yudi, it's sad. You remember that, huh?
I do. I've sent it so many people to that email. So, okay. Darshit Sangvi is asking, hello, Rajiv ji. My H1B was approved last year in June 2020, but stamping was not done as consulate was not open. My appointment is scheduled for 4th February 2021. Any chances of extension 4 months due to visa ban? No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question, Yudi. What is he asking? Any
So
chance of what?
extension of the 4 months he lost because on his H1B. So he
Okay,
probably
so
got that approved date of October when his lottery was picked up, ended
so
up.
so here's what I'm thinking. What he's saying, and I could be wrong. I think what he's saying is that he's got his H1B approval, but he continued on his OPT because he did not get a change of status. Is that what he's saying?
My guess is he's in India and he's never come to United
Oh,
States.
so if you no, you get all the time back, of course.
Oh,
Next
really?
time, yeah, of course. Even one day outside the United States, you can recapture.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
you get all of that back eventually.
Okay. All right. Next question is Tariq. Last question, probably. My case, May 2020 graduate, applied for OPT. They denied it because I submitted it after 60-day grace period in July. I,
Ouch, ouch,
I
ouch.
challenged it, got denied again, left in December. Will I face problem in future?
No. See, again, this is a long lecture, but let's just go with one thing. Learn the difference between out of status and unlawfully present. Bad things start happening to you only if you are unlawfully present for 180 days. So I'm assuming that you are not in the United States without status, because if you were not without status for 180 days, you were never unlawfully present. When you are unlawfully present, you're always out of status. But when you're out of status, you're not always unlawfully present. And it's the unlawfully present that bothers us. So
That
first of
is
all, if you were
interesting.
illegal for 180 days, you need to talk to a lawyer. Come to ask you us next time we are here. You can ask us free of charge. Otherwise, talk to any lawyer, any competent lawyer, not just any lawyer. So, there are plenty of people like in every
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
industry.
yeah.
So, if you are less than 180 days, don't worry about it. It's okay. But if you were 180 days or more, let's talk and make sure you are okay. I think you will be.
Okay, okay. Do you want to take one last question?
I can, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I had my tea. I'm okay. I'm all set.
Is green card based on country of birth or citizenship? That's a very
Always
interesting
country
question.
of birth. Always country of birth. So, for example, if you were born in Kuwait and you are a citizen of India, and then you change your citizenship to Australia, I don't know why you would want to, but let's say you did. You became an Australian citizen. You are still charged to Kuwait.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. I think there are a lot more questions, but we will continue this again after one
Couple of weeks.
couple weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for doing this. These sessions are amazing. I learned a lot. I think this is enough for me. Can I count this in my study hours for paralegal?
But no, Yudi, I think you should seriously consider, and this is for everybody who's on the line, you should seriously consider looking at. I actually love the idea of intellectual property law. Intellectual property law is so much fun. It is so much fun. When you have a technical degree, you should definitely look at IP law. And for IP law to start practicing as a law, not as a lawyer, but as an IP practitioner, you don't have to have a law degree. You just have to pass the exam that Patent and Trademark Office has. Okay. And as you are doing that, you can start working towards your law degree, because that makes you really a powerhouse. When you have a technical degree and a law degree. My first degree is in biology and chemistry.
Wow.
So if I had not fallen into immigration law, which I enjoy just too much.
So why did you switch from biology to law?
Oh, I always tell people, Yudi, I have 3 loves in my life. My first love was botany. When I saw my first bryophyte, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. When I saw my first bryophyte, a plant that is so amazing, like, for example, funaria, which is one of the moss, that plant has existed in its present form since the times of the dinosaurs. So you look at that plant and you look at it and say, my God, this little guy has been here gazillions of years. So my first love was botany. But I always knew I was going to get married to law. I told my parents when I was 8 years old, I'm going to be a lawyer. 3 days, no food in the house. Parents were like, oh, this boy is all spoiled. Both 2 brothers are doctors. He's going to be a lawyer. He's going to starve to death. They were half right. Okay. But my woman on the side, after I got married to law, my woman on the side is technology. Every minute I have spare, I spend either jiggling with technology. I have messed up so many things.
Yeah.
Or I remember one time many years ago, I was doing some CGI, what is it, common gateway interface. That's what we used to use on Unix systems. I did some CGI programming, and it exposed our system to fairly large security problems. And the ISP called me and said, Rajiv, please, I will be happy to give you 50% off from our hosting. Don't do any more programming.
Oh, that is funny.
So I like 3 fields. I really do. And so basically, but if you have an interest in intellectual property, look into that as a career. It's a wonderful career. And it's the career that's going to be around for the next couple 100 years. Every time there is something invented, intellectual property comes in.
Awesome. Maybe next time we will talk more about how people can find their passion. But
why not? Absolutely.
Yeah. I just pinned your help@immigration.com because a lot of people were asking for email. So I just did that. Yeah. Thank you, Rajiv ji, again. And thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll talk soon. Thanks.
Stay well, everyone. Keep those masks on. Double them up now. That's the latest recommendation.
Yes. Awesome.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Yep.
See you.
Bye.